Hey everybody, I'm very excited today. This is your friend Sam Sealey. And for this Builder series, I've got Diego, co-founder and CEO of Alfred Pay, a B2B payment infrastructure for LATAM. Here to tell us more about how they're serving LATAM and the ways that USDC is playing a pivotal role is Diego. Diego, my friend, how are you? It's been a long time since we've got to connect.
Sam, it's great to reconnect here and happy to see you here with Circle and the wonderful things that you guys are doing with the Circle Builders program. So really excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
All right. So I gave a quick introduction. You got Alfred Pay is a B2B payment infrastructure. Describe to the audience exactly what that means.
Yeah. So in layman's terms, we help products that are built on USDC access local payment rails by on-ramping them from local fiat into USDC and off-ramping them from USDC into local fiat. So really help them get distribution across different markets like Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, Dominican Republic, and so on. And we just get to be really the rails that is powering those transactions, completely API based. So, those direct to consumer products get to show their nice, smooth product, get focus on customer acquisition, go to market strategies, and we'll really just focus on helping them getting connected to the region.
Nice. I like that a lot. Let's go back to the beginning. How did you end up in this space to begin with?
You know that born and raised in Venezuela, very passionate about providing a solution to LATAM that is going to improve essentially today's current system. And we saw stablecoins as a huge avenue for that. So USDC is a way that we can really build products that are significantly better than today's traditional system. And that's really how Alfred Pay got going. So Alfred Pay, the wallet, the whole point behind our wallet brand was that we were going to improve the way that payments were sent from the United States into LATAM. So, I got originally into this space through working for a startup back in 2016 that was developing a stablecoin out in Argentina. And through then I realized that the same exact technology that was extremely powerful for hedging against local inflation was also really powerful for sending money abroad. So that was pretty much like the first business model that we worked with for Alfred Pay the wallet. And with Alfred Pay the wallet, we attacked the Dominican Republic. So one of the cool things is that we were able to connect to ramps in the United States. You have the MoonPays of the world, the Simplex, the Sardines. At the time we were working with Wire, and all the rails in Latin America, we had to build by hand for our wallet. So we spend a lot of time talking to regulators, getting licenses, explaining to them why crypto is not a scam and how stablecoins are actually there to improve the current system. And once we looked back, which was November of last year, so 2022. So we launched our wallet January of 2022. November of 2022, I had like a moment. Well, two things happened. One thing was this moment where I realized, where have I spent the most amount of time? Where have we as a team spent the most amount of time? And that without a doubt was in building infrastructure in Latin America. So it was getting the rails together in the Dominican Republic. It was getting operations going in Argentina, and time is value, right? That's what everybody says. And I'm like, that's exactly that's where we're most valuable, is where we've invested the most amount of time in. And the second thing that happened is that we had a lot of people who were asking to use our rails. So we've been an anchor on the Stellar network since about January of 2022. Anchors are on and off ramps on Stellar. And we had a lot of folks who would ask to use our infrastructure. And initially it was a lot of direct to consumer wallets like the one that we had. So we were like, why aren't these folks competition? Why are we going to give them access to our rails? What's going on? And then we realized that was a business model in of itself. And kind of as we were talking before we jumped on here, we have like the best view in the house. And for us in our team, we're so fortunate just because we get to see a lot of the products that are coming into the region, and a lot of products that we're really excited about that are not only attacking cross-border remittances, but also doing B2B lending, and a whole bunch of different stuff built on USDC. And it's really, really exciting to work hand in hand with a lot of these founders, give them a little bit of our insight on the region, and just be able to power a lot of the interesting products that are that are growing across the region right now.
You talked about the devaluing currency, major problem, something that's affecting everybody in their day in and day out lively basis. You had to make a decision in regards to a stable coin, and you chose very early on USDC. Explain how that decision came to be, and why USDC is such a pivotal asset that so many entrepreneurs and everyday folks are going towards right now.
To be honest with you, I think that the regulators really helped that decision be easy for us, right? So like I said, a lot of the time that we spent, it's sitting down with regulators, trying to get permits for our operations and building out really like that operational aspect of what we do today. And it was a lot easier to pitch USDC and say, hey, it's a transparent asset that, has audited financials. I mean, at the time, you guys were doing, I forgot who was auditing the finance, Grant Thornton was the ones that were doing the audited financials at the time. Today, I think it's Deloitte. And that stability and transparency was huge, right? To be able to say, hey, like this is actually just value on the blockchain. It's just, you literally grab a physical dollar and you put it on chain. It's not a speculative token, and it gives locals the same amount of privileges you're giving folks who are in the United States. So for us, that was a really easy sell. And I think that it's because USDC and Circle have done such a good job at being forward with regulation, not running away from it, and really attacking it, saying, hey, how can we regulate this? How can we get this in the hands of more people? What do we need to do? Who do we need to speak to? And that's really the approach that we took with a lot of the regulators. And I mean, since day one, being able to work with USDC as a digital asset has been a game changer. So we currently don't off-ramp anything outside of stablecoins. And I think that, this is a big reason for it. We don't want people to hide away from the real world solutions that are happening built on USDC. And I think that, working with speculative assets, even though I think that there's a ton of value in some of these assets and chains, would scare a lot of the folks that we work with.
Right. Let's go into your products and services. You kind of tapped onto that, where different businesses use you for different services. Please give us an overview of all that OfferPay offers.
Yeah. So we offer 3 core products. I mean, really 2. One is an OTC desk that is just crypto to fiat processing for businesses. And the other one is an on and off ramp via API, right? And our API is separated into 2 different products. One is a bank on and off ramp, where we provide on and off ramping in Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Dominican Republic. And the other one is a cash ramps product. So this is actually where you know a little bit about our initial vision with Alfred Pay, the wallet. We always wanted to speak the language of the local, right? The person who was on the other side of the remittance, so on and so forth. So we're bringing that same exact vision and mission into our current business model and saying, hey, how can we make cash rails accessible for other products to access as well? So on the API side, it's bank ramps and cash ramps. So cash on and off and bank on and off.
And from the cash off ramping, any idea that you can share on how many ramps you all actually connect to right now?
Yeah. So in total, it's about 60,000 locations, and which is a lot. And in terms of efficiency, to be honest with you, Mexico is probably the most efficient market. And right now we're rolling something really exciting out in Argentina as well. But yeah, it's about 60,000 total retail locations.
Incredible. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, someone here, let's say I'm in the United States, I can go ahead and send USDC to my abuelo in Mexico, and he's able to go and get fiat from that instant cash that was sent from a local off ramp. That's amazing.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And one of the big things with that is like two things. When you look at LATAM, and I think that LATAM is specific to this use case, two of the most bullish use cases for crypto are hedging against inflation via stablecoins and cross-border payments via stablecoins. And those are two of the most crucial use cases for the region, right? You look at Venezuela, you look at Haiti, you look at Argentina, devaluing currencies left and right. And then you look at the remittance use case, you look at Guatemala, you look at Mexico, you look at Dominican Republic. Between those three corridors, you're talking about almost $90 billion in remittances a year between those three. And what people don't know is Guatemala and Dominican Republic, like I'm sure those two countries haven't been mentioned on this podcast. Guatemala and Dominican Republic together did almost $35 billion in remittances last year. Like it's a huge market. And when you're talking about the remittance market, it's a cash-based market. So 95% of the remittances that are sent to Mexico on a retail level are picked up in cash. So how do we expect use cases such as crypto-based remittances to gain adoption if we don't have interoperability with cash rails, right? So that's really where we're really focused on. I think Stellar's done a great job as well with MoneyGram and the integration that they've worked so hard with. That's how you scale real world use cases on chain. And that's something that we're really passionate about. For total transparency, today our business lives through B2B in the sense that most of our volume is coming through businesses who want to move funds from one place to the next. But we're really setting up shop for what the next 5 to 10 years in Alfred are going to look like. And that's going to be retail, right? We're building, thinking about the final consumer. The beautiful thing about our rails is that they can service anyone in pretty much any use case. But this cash infrastructure piece really goes towards playing the long game, saying, hey, how many remittances are going to be sent on chain in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now? And at what point is it going to become just the medium of exchange that people are going to need? They're going to consider it real money, right? Which obviously we do. But yeah, so for us, that the cash rails play such an important part. And then when you look at LATAM, the underbanked and underserved is extremely high. So over almost 60% in Mexico, Peru, it's over 55%. In Argentina, it's almost 50% as well. And just think about this, Sam, like in a market like Argentina, telling somebody who's unbanked, right? Who has loads of cash sitting under their bed that is just losing value. Like in these presidential elections, in the course of these 3.5 months, it was 100% inflation, like over 100% inflation. Like that is insane. Now you're able to tell that person, you don't even need to have a bank account. You're able to go with those funds that are sitting under your bed, walk into over 15,000 locations in Argentina, and you can purchase a stable coin, and that's going to give you stability. Like if that doesn't give you chills, I don't know what you need, right? It's like, that is game changing for these people. That is really changing people's lives, the way they spend, the way they can save. And that's why I think that we've seen such a big unbalance between two different sides of the world that are really just a 2-3 hour plane ride away. It's because currency devaluation is significant. Access to financial products are significant. And I couldn't imagine my life without my bank account. I could not. And, USDC, Circle, and all these awesome products that are being built on chain are really providing a way to improve the current system. And it's been great to see a lot of them get early traction. So.
All right. So, looking forward, what's next in the future of Alfred? What are you looking forward? We're coming towards the end of 23. What are the plans for 24?
Yeah. So plans are, being able to support more projects. So I'll leave a call to action there with what you just mentioned. You guys can get started. You go right on our site. There's a get started button on the top right. You hit that, and the next day, Dylan from our operations team will be reaching out to you guys and seeing how we can support. I think that's the main thing for us. It's like, we want to help. We want to be a resource, and help distribution of products across the region. What's next for 2024? I think our biggest focus here is markets like Argentina and Mexico, and continuing to add additional payment methods in those regions, more distribution there. And for us in our team, like I said, vision is a very important piece. And we've been preaching hitting certain KPIs within payment methods that we're adding there. And and being hyper focused there. I believe that if we take care of our job on that front, the business itself is going to be in a healthy state. So, if you look at crypto and markets like Mexico, there's still so much to happen there. I mean, you've seen tremendous adoption in Brazil, Colombia, and I think that Mexico is up next. So we definitely want to be there for that.
All right. Well, look, Diego, thank you so much for taking the time today to hang out with the kid on the Builder series, man. I really appreciate it. It's great to have the update, great for the insight, and why this is important for you and for those that are listening as well, so they can get an understanding of the opportunities as well that is happening in LATAM. So Diego, for folks that are looking to learn more about Alfred and go ahead and hit that sign up button, what's the best way that they can contact you?
Yeah. So you can contact me directly, Diego@alfredpay.io, or you can hit that get started button on the top right side of the screen that says get started. It'll ask you a few questions about what you guys are building, and we'll jump on a call immediately after. So
this is great. Look at that USDC on Stellar right there. Bam, right on the front screen. I love it. Diego, this is great. Very excited for what Alfred is doing. Very excited for your future as well. Thank you to everybody that joined the show. Thank you again, Diego. We'll be in contact soon. Take care.
Thank you, Chief. It was a pleasure, man.
Absolutely.